Hey, look, it's the number 12 and a whole bunch of different numeral systems.
Number 12!
I learned there's a free ATM in here. Then from the door to the inside it says 99 cents.
Church building or the Matrix? You decide.
I've worked with a good amount of crews, and on set you hear a lot of, shot calls. A couple people say camera speeding or they say camera rolling, and in my, film studies I've always heard that speed was for sound, because the sound guy in the old days had to get up to speed, like his equipment had to get up to speed, and that it's just roll film. But I've been working lately with some new guys, and again I hear some people saying, camera speeding, and so I looked it up to just kind of, verify if what I thought was correct. And here's what I found. So this is how I always understood it. First AD says roll sound. The sound guy says sound speed. The second AC reads off the slate. The camera operator, when his camera is at speed, he says mark it, and then the second AC claps the sticks, and then the camera operator says frame, and the director says action. I usually say set and wait for others in the crew to say set before I call action, just because some people have to sit down, the slate guy and stuff just need to get out of the way and let us get going. Then I call action. Now, we don't all have to get technical, but what I learned after reading a lot of the blogs on this is, it really doesn't matter what you call as long as everybody knows what you're talking about and what crew you work with. Nowadays, it doesn't really even matter. I mean, you basically just say my camera's recording and my audio is recording, but at the time, I guess, the equipment had to get up to speed and to work with all the time codes. So this is what I learned today. If anybody sees anything else on this, let me know if I'm doing if I got it wrong. I'd love to know exactly, what's the process. But as far as it goes, as long as everybody knows what they're talking about, it doesn't really matter. There's Matt holding the light. Matt took me on the roof. It's pretty chill. I don't know what else to say. I learned that this is pretty chill. Have you ever seen the movie Vertigo? I haven't. Another wonderful meal by this guy right here. We're having some ice cream right now, but he cooked for us even after we kind of put him off for about 3 hours. I learned he's very tenacious in trying to feed us. So my hotel is right by the Chrysler Building, and I was walking to the store tonight, and I talked to a few people in the store, about 2-3 people, and asked them, so I don't think Chrysler owns the Chrysler Building anymore. Who owns it? And none of them really knew. So the current owners of the Chrysler Building are the Abu Dhabi Investment Council. They bought it for about $800 million in 2008. Before that, it was owned by this Travelers Insurance place, and before that, it was owned by Jack Kent Cooke. It's been since 1947, and it was actually owned by Mr. Chrysler. I learned that dinner time in New York is like 10 o'clock at night. I learned I've been walking past this building every morning and not even notice this big globe at the New York Daily News. Let's zoom in. Oh, Daily News, Daily Planet. So the accelerometer on my iPhone hasn't been working very much lately, and it's been recording all my videos in portrait mode. It may be because I have a beta version of the new iOS 7. I'm not sure, but it just won't turn. I've got this old app called Filmic Pro, It's very nice, very new. It gives you a lot of functionality with your camera and the camera on the iPhone. And I just opened it up and started playing with it again. And I learned that it's actually a pretty sweet program. You can change, your frame rates. You can lock your exposure, your focus. You can go in and actually record at 50 megabits a second. And you can zoom. As you can see in my last video, I zoomed in, and you can do a lot of things that you normally can't do with the regular camera. And this records landscape, and that's reason I use that the rest of the night. It's been kind of nice. That's it for this 12th day of Lucas. My true love gave to me some sad texts. My daughter's in the hospital today, and she got really sick. I mean, she gets in there a couple times a year, it seems like, but she's got something called para-influenza, and I found that out. So it's always hard to be out of town when stuff like that happens, but keep us in your prayers if you can. She should be good, but and no need to worry too much, but little prayers can't help, or blessings or thoughts our way. Much appreciated. 12 drummers drumming. So good night, and thank you again for watching, for those of you that have been following. Have a good night.